So what would you say is our number one goal that as a society that we need to focus on right now?
First of all, we need to realize that nature and humans are not separate. Humans and nature are one. We humans are made of the same basic elements like earth, air, fire, water. Trees are made of the same elements. Animals are made of the same elements. So how can we consider ourselves separate? And then we should not consider ourselves superior to nature. We should not think the animals are below us and we are above animals. We are above trees. We are above nature. We are nature. Nature is not just out there, the mountains and the forests and the rivers and the oceans and the animals. We are also nature. The moment we have that unity of life, then we say we can celebrate the diversity. Diversity is wonderful. It's good to have millions of species. We should protect the biodiversity. We should protect the cultural diversity. We should protect the linguistic diversity. We should protect the truth diversity. In our Jain tradition, we believe in the Anekant. Anekant means no one truth. There are many truths, the diversity of truths. So when we celebrate diversity and not turn diversity into divisions and conflicts and wars, then we can live in trust and peace in the world. So this is the consciousness we need, these values we need. And I think the Jain religion is very much a religion of ecology. Nature and humans are one in Jain tradition. If you read the Jain text, as I did as a monk, and the Tattvat Sutra, the Acharanga Sutra, the Uttaradhayan Sutra, all the sutras, they tell us that nature and humans are one, and we have to take care of nature, and we do not want to interfere with nature. Minimize your interference. Every life has a right to live its own way, and we cannot control or interfere nature. So your mother and your family not walking on grass is minimizing our interference in the natural world. So we do not do mining, we do not do coal digging and oil digging and all the kind of things that people do. Jains are not allowed to, or Jains are not supposed to interfere in nature or minimize our interference and do a very simple, frugal life. That is the Jain tradition I learned. That's the most ecological principle that I can think of.
That's so true, because I think growing up as a Jain and actually embracing Jainism since I was being a teenager in my 20s, I've never needed to be environmental because that's my life. Like I've never needed to learn about ecology because that's how I live. So it's always strange to me when we speak about nature, because I've always seen myself and as no separate, no superior. And another S you said, Satishji, is simplicity. So living with simple means, living within our means, never going above the excess. And this is something that the West, for sure, I don't see happening. I think our desires are multifold. We want more and more and more. And there's this battle about who can have the most. And do you think that's the spiritual principles that we really need, where it's about living a simple life and having less desires? I wouldn't say no desires, but having less desires?
Absolutely. In the Jain language, we call it sanyam and sadgi. So that means the simple living, elegant simplicity. I have written a book called Elegant Simplicity. And in this book, I'm talking about how we can live without this consumerism and materialism and more possessions. If we live good life, then with very few things, we can enjoy life. Jain tradition is about ananda, about joy, but joy not in possessions, but joy in appreciation and celebration of life. So when you have something in your house, it should be beautiful. Beauty is a celebration of life. If we have not beauty, there cannot be. My mother was a very staunch Jain. She was a follower of Jain tradition. And she always said to me that whatever we have in the house should be simple, and there should have three qualities. Number one, it should be beautiful. We should not have anything ugly in the house. Secondly, whatever we have should be useful. Don't have anything useless. Whatever you have should be useful. And then it should be durable, should not be thrown away, should not be waste. In our home, there was no waste basket or no waste bin. Everything was used and reused and recycled automatically. There was nothing, there was no landfill for anything. There was nothing to put on the landfill. So beautiful, useful, and durable. These were the three Jain principles of my mother, which she taught me. I call it my mother's BUD principle, B-U-D, BUD principle, beautiful, useful, durable. So that is the elegant simplicity. If we live things with beauty and utility and durability, then there'll be sustainability. Without BUD principle, there can be no sustainability. So this is the Jain principle, but there's also perennial wisdom. It's not just Jain. If you go to any religion, they teach you, in the Christianity, they talk about holy poverty. When you become a monk in the Christian tradition, you take a vow of poverty. Poverty means simple life. Poverty does not mean hunger. Poverty does not mean starvation. Poverty does not mean misery. Poverty does not mean deprivation. Poverty means simple life in the Christian language. When the St. Francis, he talks about lady poverty, and he embraced the lady poverty. So poverty means simple life, living with least possessions, but the possessions you have should be beautiful, useful, durable, pleasant. Good life is good, but this miserable life of possessiveness, consumerism, materialism, desire, greed, these are not going to make you happy.
It's so true. And we see it, we see it all around us, that materialism has never led to happiness. Like the richest people in the world aren't the most happiest people in the world. What I see the most is the ones that are the sannyasis, the ones who don't have anything. They seem to be the most happiest people to me. But again, it comes back to this whole fear, this fear of not having, this fear of I need something in my life, otherwise I'm unfulfilled. And I don't have this void within us, right? So how do we fill that void? How do we practice spirituality in essence?